Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show. Delighted to have your company. I'm Peter Martin, and our two guests on this Monday night, Alan Ruff as ever, alongside Barry Ferguson. I have a sneaky feeling referees might be our main topic tonight. Scottish football, never too far away from controversy, especially when you've got a full card of games at the weekend. Of course, Rangers on the Saturday, cranking up the heat on Celtic before Celtic responded with a win against St Johnstone yesterday. But the main talking point, fuelled this morning by Steve Clarke, the Killie boss, who clearly has had a pop at consistency in refereeing, and he's looked at the Jermaine Defoe situation. Jermaine Defoe won a penalty in the game that Rangers defeated St Mirren by 4-0. Now, Barry Ferguson, he won a penalty, and there were 3 others awarded, 4 penalties in one game. Conspiracy theories abound, by the way, but I'm going to stick to the sensibility of this. What's your take on it?
My take on it, who would want to be a referee first and foremost? Look, I thought the first one was a penalty. I think the second one, where Defoe goes down and he actually gets back up, I think he's actually surprised that he was awarded a penalty. So I don't think that one was. Candias one, I thought the pull started outside the box, so that's not one. But the letter of law with the boys at the edge of the box when he goes up, well, it's a natural reaction in the St Mirren player, but it does hit his hand just inside the box. So I think 2 of them are penalties and 2 weren't penalties. But people have got to remember, referees have got to make a split decision straight away. We're okay here sitting and watching it 3 or 4 times over. But look, he did make a mistake in 2 for me. I thought the other 2 were definitely penalties.
What do you make of it, Ruffy?
Yeah, I have to agree. Just as Barry said there, I think the first one was a penalty. The second one, I thought he'd stubbed his foot, to go down, and then realised what he'd done and tried to get back up again. But obviously the referee sees the first moment of it and gives the penalty. The next one, I agree with Barry, a natural reaction is to put your hand up if the ball's going to hit you in the face. I thought it was borderline where it was. I don't think the assistant referee could have actually seen whether it was in the box or not from where he was. Yeah. So he's the one that calls that one. The fourth one was a pull in the jersey or the leg. Again, borderline on the line of the 18-yard line, but the player dives forward and the referee's got to make a decision. So I think it's the players that are making it hard for the referee. I really do. I think, as Barry said, they've got to make that decision there and then. They can't look at it once, twice, 3 times. They've got to look at the reaction of the players.
How many did he get right?
I think he got the first one right, and the second one, no. The third one, I thought the linesman got it wrong, and the fourth one, no.
So 3 out of 4 wrong.
Yeah.
Do you think he's a good referee?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do think he's a referee. Again, he's got to make the call. And I have to say, although I've said 3 of them weren't, they were all borderline, really, really borderline shouts.
Yeah. Over and above that, Barry, Steve Clarke wants, he's highlighted, one player goes into the crowd yesterday, McDermott Park, picks up a yellow card. Yep. Another player goes in, he doesn't get a yellow card, so there's no consistency there. And he's saying for the way, Jordan Jones was vilified for his dive, he wants the same from Claire White, when eventually the panel gets round to looking at this. Same retrospective action for Defoe, 2-game ban.
No, I don't agree with him. I don't think you can pair the 2 of them up. Defoe, the second one, as I says, I don't know, I've not looked at it again, but he does fall, but he gets straight back up. So he's actually thinking in himself when he's fell, he's getting straight back up. I'm no cheating or whatever. So if you look at the Jordan Jones ones, that was clearly a dive. I don't think you can pair the 2 of them up. There's no chance. I get his point with the Celtic one. I don't know why somebody goes into the crowd, the first goal gets booked, and then Timothy Weir towards the end of the game. That's consistency, and I understand the frustrations with managers at sometimes, but if he's comparing both Jones and Defoe, I don't get that one.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing, Ruffy. I thought he got 3 out of the 4 decisions wrong, but I take on board what Steven Gerrard said. I thought he could have had a shout for a 5th penalty.
And believe it or not, that'd have been a world record.
No, that would have been a full investigation and a riot. 5 penalties in the one game, but nevertheless, I mean, it's in meltdown at the moment. If you wanted to even comment on it at the time, but at the end of the day, it's 4 penalties. But I thought Rangers were by far going to win that game anyway. Kent scores a beautiful goal, but the penalties don't help the situation. It changes things, but I thought Rangers would have won it anyway, Barry. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, I says in last week I thought Rangers would win the game comfortably without the penalties, but this is a big talking point. I feel for referees, this is where we've got to bring it in. We've got to bring VAR in to help the referees.
This summer?
We've got to go around and speak and find the money, find the funds for somewhere. Because if we don't, this is going to be happening week in, week out up here.
And does full-time refereeing make a difference to it all? Well, making them full-time?
Well, it would, because obviously they'll be training every single day. I mean, these referees are out working. They've got other jobs and they're training at night. I mean, I know quite a lot of referees. I actually see some of them down Strathclyde Park sometimes working hard at their fitness. But if they're not full-time, they're not going to be elite like down in England. They're every single day training. So I think that would help. But again, it comes down to money.
Yeah, I wish you'd shut your mouth there and not alert everybody to where the referees are training. There'll be about 3,500 down Strathclyde Park.
Well, that was a couple of years ago.
That's the last thing we need, Ruffy.
No particular time to go.
I know. Anyway, you can give us your thoughts on it. I'm sure you're throwing things at the screen, agreeing or disagreeing. It depends on your persuasion on it. You can look at it. If you're a neutral, can you take a step back? I mean, Dermot Gallagher on satellite television said he got 3 of the 4 right. It's all subjective. Is he part of that refereeing group that always tries to stick together? How many do you think the referee Andrew Dallas got right or wrong on this one? Facebook, Twitter, and of course on YouTube as well. You can give us your thoughts on that. Now, as far as the rest of the football, here's how that Rangers result fitted in with Gabriel Antoniazzi, our reporter's look back over the weekend results.
Hearts halted Killy's title charge with a 2-1 win at Rugby Park. Sean Clare is really starting to come to life in maroon, and with key players returning from injury, Jambos could have a good end to the season. Rangers kept the pressure on the champions as they were awarded 4 penalties in a 4-0 drubbing of St Mirren. 1 or 2 fouls appeared to be outside the box, but Steven Gerrard said Rangers could have had 5. Aberdeen moved up to 3rd in the Premiership with a 2-1 win at managerless Hibernian. Despite going behind, the Dons showed resolve to fight back to take all 3 points. Motherwell stunned Livingston with 3 early goals, Jake Hastie scoring twice. It's now 4 wins in a row for them. Scott Wright scored on his debut for Dundee against Hamilton and looked to give his side the win until Aki's skipper Darian McKinnon scored in the 91st minute to earn a point for his team in Brian Rice's first game at the helm. And Celtic stayed 6 points clear at the top of the Premiership with a 2-0 win over St Johnstone. Substitute Timo Weah being the difference with a goal and an assist in the final 12 minutes.
Yeah, lots to talk about. Of course, before every weekend fixture list, we go head to head to see if we can predict the scores. We get 5 points, Ruffy, for a correct score, or indeed 2 points for a correct prediction on the overall outcome of the game. It was a 3-horse race to start with, Ruffy, but as you can see now with the scorelines, it's looking like a forlorn hope for you. I mean, we're keeping you in the actual graphic just out of consideration and respect because you've been to 3 World Cups. But other than that, you're so far behind. It defies belief.
I'm obviously in the relegation zone, but I'm hoping there is a playoff available, for that second bottom.
Yeah, I mean, Barry, you've done well. I mean, I've got to hand it to you. The weekend predictions, you scored 19 points. You had 3 correct scores from it. It was one of those red hot weekends. You'll need more than a few of them.
Yep, I think I'll need another 2 or 3 of them. It's going to be difficult to catch you up, but listen, never give up, keep trying. I think we can forget about Ruffy.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
Work for me.
No,
I'm trying.
but I think it's going to be difficult. What is it? 18 points you're ahead. That's a decent amount.
Yep, footballers and pundits all predicting scores. Who would have thought? 18 points. Still, knowing Barry as I do, he will not give up. Knowing Ruffy as I do, he's saving up for the end of season prize on this one. We've still got a lot to talk about. Of course, the big talking point will be Chris Davis. The Celtic assistant manager reckons that they've got more than enough in reserve with all the mounting injuries. We'll be talking about that next. Welcome back to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show. Alan Ruff and Barry Ferguson are with me here in the studio. Referees and the firing line seems to be our main topic of conversation. But let's not forget the football as well. Rangers throwing the gauntlet down to Celtic, reducing the gap to only 3 points before Celtic headed up to McDermott Park on the Sunday for the 12:30 kickoff. And they responded with about maybe 12 minutes to go. Ruffy, suddenly 2 goals materialised. James Forrest and Timo Weah chipping in with the goals, but it came at a cost. Few injury worries for them now.
Yeah, they certainly have, but they'll take the 3 points and then see where they go with these injuries. I think the game was all about taking chances, and I think if you ask Tommy Wright, he'll be disappointed that the small chances they got, they never took. But when you play against Celtic, you've got to take them. And unfortunately for St Johnstone, Celtic did take their 2 chances later on, and when they were pushing forward.
Well, suddenly you see the strength and depth of the squad, Barry, when you consider the injury list that Celtic have at the moment. It's literally a first team there. I mean, Ncham and Tierney and Boyata are back training now, but still they haven't made that appearance yet.
Yeah, but it's a big injury list, but that's why you've got a big squad, Peter. But on that list there's certainly 2 or 3, I would say, that would be in the starting 11 for Brendan Rodgers. But going back to it, I thought in Sunday, they were okay in the first half, but I thought the second half they dominated Celtic. They pushed them back, and I thought Weah coming on, obviously for Edward, get injured. I thought he was excellent, the young kid. Showed bundles of energy, set up the first goal and then got the second goal. So he certainly made an impact, and that's what you've got to do when you're sitting on that bench. If you've got an opportunity to go on, whether it be through an injury or somebody not playing well, you've got to take it, and certainly that boy took it in Sunday.
Yeah, well, the Celtic assistant coach Chris Davis was speaking today ahead of their match against Hibernian on Wednesday. He reckons that they have more than enough to cope with anybody who's out injured.
We can put a team out that's going to be a good team, a very good team of quality players, and we'll be able to cope, no problem. It's as stretched as it's been. As I said, I think I look through. We've got a pretty good team of injuries and suspensions. 4-4-2. You can probably fit them all in at the moment, but they're coming back. We've got a few coming back. We've got some of the guys that are close to coming back. Obviously, Kieran's building up his rehab steadily. And there's a few others that are getting closer. So that is part of football. I think it's rare to have this many injuries, but we have got a depth of squad. The manager said that it's very important, so we've got that.
Yeah, I think Celtic fans will also get excited, Ruffy, when they spotted the news that Karamoko Dembele, he's not too far away from his 16th birthday, but he's training with the first team.
Yeah, I think I remember when he got pushed into one of the teams above where he was playing. Brendan Rodgers wasn't too happy about it that he'd been thrown in. He tried to keep him in the background, keep him feet on the ground. But certainly at that age, if he's playing on a higher level, I wouldn't imagine him getting anything just now. But I think as the season goes on, I'm sure the fans would love to see a young kid with that kind of ability.
Yeah, well, you can bet your bottom dollar every press conference between now and, of course, Wednesday will involve the press asking the managers and assistant coaches about refereeing. Chris Davis asked the very question today.
I think it's obvious that there's a lot of talk about referees at the moment in terms of certain decisions, and I'd like to hope that decisions that are made that are potentially mistakes, that they would review and analyse them and learn and improve from them. Refereeing in general up here, I think it's been widely acknowledged that if it was full time, it would be better, and they could train, be fitter, be more I suppose, professional all round. You know, so that there has to be a degree of sympathy for the referees in that sense. These are guys that have got jobs and everything else like that. So being full time would certainly help. I think the manager here has mentioned the use of VAR as well. Again, that would obviously help. It's helping referees all over the world. But these things happen. We can't become obsessed with referees. We have to focus on playing well, doing our job and winning games, and that's what we'll do.
Give us your thoughts on that. What would you rather see, actually? First of all, would you rather see full-time referees or VAR, first of all, in the game? Give us your thoughts on that. What would you rather see first, Ruffy?
VAR by a distance.
Yep, I've got to agree with Ruffy. I would go with VAR.
And see the point you picked on there about referees and the fitness, and I know Barry's saying where they train. The referees really focus on their fitness. They have a level of fitness that they all have to come up to, or they don't get games. So they're conscious of being very fit guys.
I know they get testing, they get quite a bit of testing, so they've got to make sure that they're at decent levels. I mean, I think watching games, I think the level of fitness of referees is very good.
Yeah. What do you, I mean, listen, I don't think anybody was criticising the distance they were away from the play. I think it's actually the eye to see something and make that split-second decision, which is coming under close scrutiny at the moment. Is this the poorest set of referees we've had in Scotland? Because that seems to be the general opinion at the moment.
I can only go with, I mean, the late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, we had some very, very good referees. Hugh Dallas. It's different. And Kenny Clark, guys like that, but it's different. You could have a bit of banter with them on the pitch. It seems that referees don't like that now. If something went against you, you could give a referee a wee bit, he would give you it back. But I don't think that happens now.
Yeah, okay. You can give us your thoughts on that. Elsewhere, you know, Aberdeen, I think, deserve tremendous credit. Ruffy, Easter Road, even without a manager, is still a difficult place to go. I thought they handled it well, albeit that some of Hibs' defending was absolutely woeful, and the keeper, I mean, gifted them a goal.
Yeah, it certainly did, and particularly going to Easter Road and going a goal behind. You know, sometimes it's very difficult to get back into the game, but they kept persevering and they kept creating chances, and there is a wee bit of confidence there at Aberdeen just now, and I think in the end they deserve the win.
Of course, Hibs will be looking for a manager. There's various names being thrown out there. Alan Stubbs has thrown his name into the hat. I read one paper this morning, I think it was the Daily Mail, suggested that maybe even Scott Gemmell is being considered for the post as well. Do they need to come up with a real top drawer man, or are they going to have to cut their cloth?
First and foremost, I think they're going to regret the decision, what happened with Neil Lennon. I think they're going to miss him. I know you're saying it will make a hell of a difference on Saturday against Aberdeen, but I think it will, because he was a big manager for Hibernian. A lot of the players looked up to him. I know he was demanding and tough, but that's what you want for your manager. So they're going to have a hard job to replace him. Who that is, I honestly don't know, but they need to come up with a top manager for me, because Neil Lennon was a top manager. Yeah,
are Hearts back in this race, or this supposed title race? Are they at least up there where you would consider them now going to finish in the top four, Ruffy?
Yeah, I think they are. I think they're on a wee run now. The confidence will be there. We all know how hard it is to go to Tynecastle and get a win. So I think the teams like Rangers, Celtic, Aberdeen will know when they go to Tynecastle that they're going to be in a good game. And if Hearts continually pick up 3 points, particularly away from home, they'll be in it.
There's about 5 or 6 that you can think in the top end. At the bottom end of the Premiership table, Barry, you know, sometimes I worry about picking Motherwell for a result. As you can see, they come up with a really good win at the weekend, and he seems to have steadied the ship. It just looks as the bottom 3 are cut off from everyone now, and it's just who can finish 10th.
Yep, it's got for 10 down to 12, it's going to come down to the 3 teams. Certainly for me. You go back to the Motherwell thing, I think now they're starting to get a bit of consistency, Motherwell. They were one of the teams I've seen a couple of times this year where I was impressed. Then the following week they weren't so good, but they've had a few good results of late, and I think they'll climb that table, but I think down the bottom it'll be with St Mirren, Accies and Dundee, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I still think Dundee will scrape it, Ruffy.
Yeah, they looked as if the players they'd brought in, you know, and the result they got, apart from the defeat they had, they thought they were going to be on a wee run. But yeah, I still think they've got players in there that can win games against the teams they need to beat.
Yeah, at the bottom end, there's a few tasty ones to look forward to on Wednesday. There's a full card on Wednesday, but at the top end, it doesn't get any better than Celtic Hibs and Aberdeen Rangers at Pittodrie. I know you enjoyed them. What do Rangers need to do, apart from obviously win the game, that you guys were able to do going up to Pittodrie?
It's simple, Peter. I says after the Kilmarnock defeat, they can't lose any more games, or it's over. Challenging Celtic at the top, so they've got to go to a place where I know fine well myself, where it is difficult, and certainly in a night game, whether it be a Tuesday, I know this one's a Wednesday night, it's a hard place to go. Aberdeen at this moment in time, since the start of December, have hit a real bit of form, but honestly I do believe that Rangers will go up there and get something. I think they will. It'll be roll your sleeves up time. There'll be a full house. That's what you want as a player. You want to go to these kind of places. He
always saves the best till last, doesn't he, Ruffy? If they lose one more game, it's over. Right at the last part of the programme, he just leaves us with that one, just to leave it in your mind. Do you agree with him or not? Give us your thoughts on all things referees. That's what the programme's all about, Monday to Friday. Thanks to Ruffy, thanks to Barry. Hugh McDonald will be with us on tomorrow night's programme.
Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.